Rafael Montero. What the hell? This is a problem when you don't have a general manager. 3 years, $34.5 million.
Well, I mean, this feels like an anti-Astros move. It also feels like this is the end of Justin Verlander. Sure. I mean, if you're going to throw $11 million a year, if you're going to take the savings from Justin Verlander, then you're going to start filling in pieces. Well, this is a fill-in-piece type of sign.
Well, you got other ones, too.
I get that what they're saying is...
you don't have Brantley, if you don't have Yuli, if you don't have JV.
Well, what they're saying is Montero, this year they're going to run it back with Neris, Montero. They're going to run back the same bullpen.
Yeah, I guess. What about Abreu? How about Abreu as their setup?
Well, it doesn't matter. They're all in the... Montero did his job, though. He had a bad month, but he did his job. Abreu had bad years. And so,
well, Abreu is young.
I mean, Dusty Baker believes in Montero. The Astros believe in Montero. That one had to hurt you, though, to see him re-sign.
Well, honestly, I'm much who you have more confidence when he comes in, Abreu or Montero?
Well, I'm fine having everyone in. I want them on the roster. Now, I can tell you, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, Verlander's gone. Because you would not be paying Montero this amount of money if you're keeping Verlander.
I don't know. You know what's really surprising? What's really surprising is that, and there's an article out today that the Astros are on Wilson Contreras this offseason. The surprising thing is the rumor mill with Click and Crane is that Click didn't really like Crane didn't like Click because of his Tampa Bay mentality where you just don't pay anybody anything, that you just move on from guys because of their price tag. And Jim Crane is, you would think Jim Crane would be just the opposite. Thanks for being frugal, and that's not the case.
Well, hold on a second. So Jim Crane could do anything he wants to do. If he wants to not let George walk, if he wants to not let Click wasn't here when Charlie Morton left. Was Click here when George left?
Was Click here when George left?
Yeah,
no.
wasn't he?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Who's he talking about then?
Well, there were...
I heard that he... So Michael Schwab had something that it was like Jake Meyer. He said, are you on a bet?
Well, this offseason, he wouldn't go get Starling Marte because of the price tag.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
That was one of them. The other one was first baseman. I forget who it was. There were a couple of guys that he said that Schwab said in this article. And you know what, Michael Schwab, I'm hoping that he has verified sources on the whole thing, and I'm going to believe what he wrote because I don't know that you put it out there. Michael Schwab has had good information before. There's no reason not to believe him. But this is not just. It's not just that Wilson Contreras for Urquidy trade. There have been plenty of things, but mostly it's been that Click hasn't been aggressive enough. Not that he.
Yeah, but none of these make sense because, there's conflicting elements of all this because supposedly it was Click that had the trade for Contreras, that Dusty didn't want.
Right.
So it wasn't that aggressive enough?
I guess. Well, and again, there was the other one was that Click was anti Pena in the 2-hole. Was adamantly anti.
Basically,
and you're going to put your money. Okay, you're going to stake your career on Jake Myers in center field, and James Click told him, because Crane told him you're going to stake your career.
According to someone on Twitter,
this is what you want in center field.
Yeah, if that is to be believed, and I'm not discounting
that
it,
came
but
from Michael Schwab as well.
Yeah, it's not like Berman didn't have that.
No.
So no offense to anyone else, but
sometimes
I have
Berman
to
doesn't get everything.
No. But what I'm saying is, if he does have it, it's verified. So what I'm telling you is, we have to take this with a little bit of grain of salt. But
I said, I don't have any reason to believe that Michael Schwab.
But we do know that that James Click, the Astros said bye, and what it came out over the weekend that James Click was in essence fired.
Click was here when George left.
That's what I thought. Yeah, because he
came in 2020,
right after the 19 ending. So it would have been there during the process.
Yeah, 20.
It would have been there during the process. So although a lot of us didn't think George was staying around anyway, but so this is my thing, John. So over the weekend, there was a national baseball writer, I'm trying to recall who it was, who said that James Click was in essence fired because he wouldn't agree to the deal. Oh no, that he shared family business with other people at the owners' meetings.
Right.
That was the reason that he was technically quote unquote fired, because he didn't have a contract, or he was out of a contract, but they were negotiating one. But then I'm at the point where I don't care how it went down. Who's next? I honestly don't. I mean, good job, James Click. I love that you did the bullpen. I always, have a good. You won't have the Leno place in my heart, but I'll always feel good about you. I do not believe Jeff Leno is going to be a candidate. I do not believe that's going to be the case.
No.
Now we do.
No.
David Stearns came out and said, "Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm locked in."
Well,
so
he's
Stearns,
got another year left on a consulting deal there.
Yeah, so Stearns
maybe
is apparently out.
that's it. But maybe he's going to wait for him. You mentioned Brian Abreu, who hasn't been good. Rafael Montero, when he got here, he had a 7.27 ERA.
Oh no, the Astros fixed him.
Yeah, right. And
Like
he had
they
a
fixed
4.08
everybody.
before that, and he had one good year.
But
before he got here.
This whole year was good, other than one bad month, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He had a bad month. August.
Well, I hope they fixed him. He's 32 years old, and we'll find out.
Well, they did.
I hope.
This is like they've done with everybody. Wade Miley.
They don't sign guys to 34. Well,
no, they don't do these deals.
Yeah.
This deal was highly unusual. What they do is find Monteros and Neris, and they fix them, and they change things, and they get results, and then they let them walk. Kendall Graveman, they let him walk. And then they bring in the next guy.
Yeah.
That's why this made me think, okay, they just spent some of the JV money on him. JV's going.
It must be because here's the deal: is because if you want to know the truth, how cheap would it be to have your Hunter Brown, Abreu, Presley at 7, 8, and 9, and how good would it be to have those three in that order? And instead, and Neris and now Montero. It must be that JV's not going to be here because Hunter Brown's going to the rotation.
You could have gone cheaper. There was a cheaper way to go, but I do think that Jim Crane, who has to be in the middle of this decision, he has to be. Jim Crane basically
you don't spend 34. Who's making the only one making?
He's
the decision?
basically saying we're running it back. I loved having a good bullpen. Since he's been an owner, his bullpen has faltered in the postseason until this year, where it was historically good. Now the odds of that happening again next year are not great. Just based on history. But what he's doing is saying, how good was it to be able to get to the 7th inning and we were taking care of business? I think that's what he's doing. He's just saying, Neris, Montero, Stanek is still here.
Yeah,
Stanek, and then whether you have Hunter Brown in the rotation, I don't think he will. I think we could see Hunter Brown with Space Cowboys.
Yeah, no, and that would be kind of. You want to talk about pissing George Springer off? You want to talk being pissed off? If I'm Hunter Brown and I'm back in,
and by the way,
Space
the reason
Cowboys,
he would
after being on the World Series roster,
explain why they would do that to people
to stop so they don't have to pay him so that they don't start his
they
clock.
slow his arbitration clock.
Yeah.
His service time clock, because he was a September call-up.
Yeah.
So they could keep him there until midsummer and then bring him up.
A guy who was on your postseason roster and gave you postseason innings, you're going to send him back to the Space Cowboys? That is.
I mean, your depth is just unbelievable.
You know what? It's a business, and that's how they run it.